So let's have a look at the grid for Micromax heat number 1. So Riley Buxton-Young and Daniel Minto will be on the front row. Samuel Laudii and Kyle McLean, row 2. Alex Jones and James Tate, row number 3. Row 4, it's James Roberts and Logan Lauder. Row 5, it's going to be Toby Jukes and Amy Peacock making double duty this weekend. She's running in Honda Cadet as well. Harry Neeson and Tyler O'Neill round out row number 6. Caden Simpson, Aston Brown, the points leader, starts 14th ahead of Ella Lucia, top novice last time out at Wilton Mill, and Jack Hutchinson rounds out the 16-strong grid. So the drivers now making their way around the circuit. This will be dual file, rolling start. All 3 Rotax classes will be in this same start procedure. As they are now heading towards the corner known as St John's before the left-hander at Sunny Bend. So all heats now reduced to 8 minutes plus an additional lap due to the time delay with the fog. So let's see what happens in Micromax heat number 1 here at Rowrah for round 3 of the championship out of 8. Field tightly packed as they come round Paddock Bend. The revs start to rise, the noise starts to increase. Ladies and gentlemen, Micromax heat number 1 has been called a false start, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they did get going. They are still under full racing speed, as it looks. And it's 2-3 abreast at some points. Oh, some drivers really getting onto the grass. 2 wheels on there, as there's an absolute cavalcade. We've got a spinner going through into the, well, looks to be what was the infield, one of the infield hairpins. They're going to now go through the hairpin. 2 by 2 they go. So the drivers making their way through, some taking differing lines as, oh, backwards and off the circuit. One of the drivers didn't really pick out the livery. I'm not 100% sure. That might be Amy Peacock, the number 17, that's just had a bit of a moment. And she's backwards and off and beached, I'm afraid. But at the moment, Daniel Minto, the number 28, has literally become like the scalded cat off a hot tin roof as he's got a massive lead. So, lap 1 in the books. Minto leads the way. It's a battle for 2nd and 3rd position. That's Samuel Laudii and James Roberts. Toby Jukes up into P3. Marshall's now helping a very frustrated and disappointed Amy Peacock. As, oh, a little bit of a lovely little move there by Logan Lauder right around the outside of Riley Buxton-Young. That is for 6th position on the road. Toby Jukes in a solid P4 at the moment. And he's got James Roberts in the 137. No, that's Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill goes wide. Toby Jukes goes to the inside of the hairpin as they filter their way through. So we're down to 13 drivers. But Amy Peacock back out onto the circuit. This is going to give her a lot of track time in terms of, might be at the back of the field, might be disappointed. It's, oh, nearly a touch between James Tate and Alex Jones. That's for position. That's round about the bottom end of the top 10. But Daniel Minto is sprinting away. He had a 3-second advantage over the very first lap. They're about to complete lap number 2. 1 minute 4.896 from Minto. Roberts now up into P2. Laudii, O'Neill and Jukes round out the top 5. Battle happening between Caden Simpson and James Tate. That's for 11th position on the road as they come flying their way out of the final corner. Jack Hutchinson running still on the circuit down in 13th position. As, oh, they've got to watch out for those curbs. They're going to be ever so slick and slippery. But a little bit wide there from Harry Neeson as Aston Brown look to go towards the inside. Looks like the marshals are running to another driver. Yellow flags are out. So someone else has already had a little bit of a moment as, oh, yellow flags, no overtaking. They've got to give the position back if that's the case. That's going to be picked up by race control. And that is, is that Toby Jukes that's had the moment? I'm not 100% sure. The cart was backwards and beach, so the marshal running to the scene. And three-way scrap as well. That is Amy Peacock again, the number 17. 2 spins in the first 3 minutes. It's not been a good one for the youngster. But Daniel Minto has a commanding lead of 5.6 seconds over James Roberts. A little bit further back, Harry Neeson and Aston Brown rounding out the top 8. And Neeson ahead of Brown at the moment as a little bit of a switch attempt. Nice move there by Alex Jones up the inside of James Tate to take 9th position coming out of Paddock Bend. Really clean move from the number 30. Running on the Sodi Kart chassis, the number 20 of James Tate running on the Kart Republic chassis. As now Tate fires it up the inside of Jones to retake the position. Riley Buxton-Young and Caden Simpson battling away over 11th position. Caden Simpson loses out ground to the number 66. But Daniel Minto has got the fastest lap of anybody at the moment still, as again Jones and Tate swap positions with the number 30 staying ahead for 9th position as they head their way down towards the Stuart S's. A little bit further up the order, Toby Jukes and Logan Lauder battling over P5. And it's Harry Neeson and Aston Brown. They're battling away over P7. Alex Jones and James Tate, P9. That's the battle there. So some great little scraps happening as Tate again goes through on the inside of Jones, and they nearly come together. They nearly bang sidewalls. James Tate furious with that one. But there's still over 5 minutes of the race remaining, plus an additional lap still to go. Minto's now got nearly a 6.5 second advantage over James Roberts as Harry Neeson trying to go defensive but loses a bit of momentum, and round the outside goes Aston Brown and the number 57. Jukes battling away with Lauder for P5. Jukes is ahead at the moment, goes a little bit wide out of the corner. Lauder still trying to get traction, as there has been. I'm not too sure if I saw one cart going a little bit slowly, but Toby Jukes keeping it pinned in 5th position. The cart gets a little bit squirrely on the back end, punts out to the left-hand side, but still keeps ahead of Lauder for the moment. Just over 4.5 minutes remain. Aston Brown looking a little bit on his own as Daniel Minto puts in the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 4.464. Lead between him and Tyler O'Neill, who's now ahead of James Roberts, is now 7.1 seconds and climbing. Tyler O'Neill put in a personal best, as is James Roberts did as well. Still, this battle between Jones and Tate is going on really, really nicely. Great battle, but Tate looks to the left-hand side. Jones looks to the inside going into the chicane. And still, Tate stays ahead for the minute. And he's actually pulled away. So whether Jones had a little bit of a moment. Warning flag for James Tate on that particular occasion from race control. So just over 3 3/4 minutes still remaining. Minto commanding proceedings and is just pulling away rather comfortably. James Tate in the meantime. Oh, that was a little bit of a wider sweep into that corner in comparison. That's through the Stuart S's that they're going through. Just under 3.5 minutes remaining of this race. Micromax heat number 1. Logan Lauder in the number 33 in 6th position sets a personal best, 1 minute 6.349. Everyone apart from Laudii in the number 45, who rounds out the top 4 places, have improved. Minto's put in a 1 minute 4.3. Now the battle between Jukes and Lauder keeps exacerbating as Lauder runs a little bit wide going into the corner. Toby Jukes, oh, that's a great run coming out of the corner. Down towards the next right-hander they're going to go. And Lauder sweeps to the outside to carry the momentum through and lights up the rear tyres, instantly bites down and nearly goes side by side with Toby Jukes there. And that's going into St John's, and then into the left at Sunny Bend before Paddock. And the blue flags are now being shown, as well as Jukes has got Lauder to the outside. And Jukes a little bit sideways from the number 39, and Lauder up the inside. Side by side across the line they go. It was nip and tuck between the pair of them But Toby Jukes has kept ahead, kept it pinned round the outside through the chicane. Neatly done by the number 39, based out of Nottingham. So just under 2 minutes to go. And Tyler O'Neill, I've seen has now started to ramp up the pace. Time is fast running out for the 99. There's a lot of understeer there when Toby Jukes tried to turn the cart in. And again, Logan Lauder doing a great job of pulling the momentum through, so sweeping to the outside, get the run, get the cart pinned down, and the traction really helps at the back end of the cart as again Jukes a little bit sideways. Lauder to the outside. Minto sets the fastest lap, and here goes the move. Lauder up the inside for on the inside of Jukes, gets the move done. As now James Roberts has got back past Tyler O'Neill with just over a minute to go on the clock. And through Paddock Bend they go. Toby Jukes trying to control the back end of the cart as it slides through Paddock Bend. Through into the chicane, we've got just under a minute to go of the race, plus an additional lap. And it's the number 31, that was Jack Hutchinson. Was in the middle of the pair of Lauder and Jukes for the battle for P5. A little bit further up, Tyler O'Neill is being closed in on by Samuel Laudii in the number 45. However, Lauder has gotten away from Jukes a little bit clear. All sideways from the number 33. Well held there as we're heading into the last 15 seconds of the race. Daniel Minto's lead now, 8.8 seconds and climbing. Minto untouchable last time out at Wilton Mill pretty much. And he's showing that pace again. Improvement on fastest lap for the race for James Roberts, 1 minute 4.678 as the timer now hits 0. James Tate battling away with Caden Simpson. This is the battle for P8 on the road, as a little bit of understeer for James Tate coming out of Paddock Bend. But Daniel Minto's lead, nearly 9.5 seconds. And he's put in a 1 minute 4.0 on the previous lap. So every single lap, Minto has been upping the pace. He's in clean air, pulling away rather convincingly. So out of the final corner comes Daniel Minto, and we'll get final lap. So last lap board is out on the Digi flag over the start-finish straight. So Minto leads the way going on to the 11th and final tour of this 1,030-metre circuit here at Rowrah. An ultra-convincing race for the youngster, the number 28. Being mechanicked by the, well, see the colours there, the Hunter Motorsport crew. That's the elder of the two Hunter brothers, based out of Sunderland. Shout out to Reese Hunter there. And also Kai as well. But I'm talking about the team prince, the team boss. He is the team boss. I did see Reese earlier on this year at Campilos for the Rotax Winter Cup, where he made his DD2 debut and put it P2 on the podium at the end of the weekend. Younger brother Kai still running in senior Rotax circles, both domestically and internationally. But it has been a convincing, dominant performance by the number 28, Daniel Minto, out of the final corner. He's going to take the race victory. James Roberts, the 137, as, oh, that's the number 31. That's Jack Hutchinson now getting back underway. But James Roberts will take second position. Tyler O'Neill now heading towards Paddock Bend for the 11th and final time. Laudii will take the flag in 4th place ahead of Logan Lauder, who pips Jacob Jukes by a few kart lengths to take 5th place.